Hello, I'm back, and today I'm talking about Chainsaw Man and how it's really fucking weird, but I love it nonetheless. And starting off, we have a character who starts his journey with his father dying, and then he owes a bunch of money to the Yakuza because his father left debt that he inherited. He then gets a demon pet who has a chainsaw head, and they hunt demons together in order to pay the Yakuza some money. Later on, he also sells his left eye, one of his testicles, his nuts, whatever you want to call them, and other organs for money. And throughout all this, he's still probably going to live his entire life just being a slave in debt to the Yakuza. He'll pretty much do anything for money, as one of the Yakuza offers him like $5 or something to eat a cigarette, and he literally does it, but he also doesn't swallow it. Once they walk away, he spits it out. But yeah, he's really desperate and wants to pay off this debt, and he doesn't even think he'll do so before dying. This all changes when, after being killed by those same Yakuza who made a deal with like the zombie demon, his pet decides to save his life and become his heart. He now has the power of the Chainsaw Man, which we see. After slaughtering all these people, Makima, who's the head of this like demon hunting organization, essentially public safety, finds him, and the story goes from there. He now has a life where he can actually live relatively comfortably as long as he's hunting demons for this organization. And his main goal is tits, specifically Makima's boobs. And yeah, it sounds really funny, but it is actually deeper than this. There's subtext, which a lot of it comes from the fact he didn't have a mother, and also he never thought he would even have a chance at doing anything with a girl because of how he was living his life previously. He just assumed he'd be miserable his whole life, eating like bread only and, just paying off debt to the Yakuza. But now he has more, and after reaching a deal with Power, which was another demon, and saving her cat, he gets to fondle her tits 3 times. And this just sounds funny recording. These are things I never thought I'd put in a YouTube video, but the series is weird. Denji's group leader Aki thinks that he's the only one not being serious and misunderstands Denji, because Denji is just as serious about his goal, even though it might be funny, as Aki is about avenging his family who was killed by the Gun Devil. But after doing this, which he thought would be so amazing, he's just left feeling nothing. Like, oh, was that it? Like, this thing that I idealized, these boobs, is this all it is? Was it just me feeling nothing? And he lies awake at night thinking about this. He then talks to Makima about it because he's feeling down, and she goes in a whole seductive tirade, ending up with him touching hers, and then he flies to the floor and is all flustered. So his belief in tits stays the same, but now it's mostly Makima's. As the story progresses, he has moments with other characters where he actually has his first kiss, and then it ends up being bad and someone throws up in his mouth. But then Makima also saves him there and gives him like a lollipop, saying, oh look, your first like secondhand kiss tastes good, or something like that. They go on dates together, and Makima uses him as a dog. Essentially, she uses her ability and sway over him, and he just does whatever for her. A lot of this manipulation leads into further in the story, which I'm not going to spoil because that's more in the manga, which I pretty much caught up on entirely in one day, just because what else do I have to do? But yeah, there's a depth behind this kind of childlike nature of Denji, and the fact that he never went to school or never thought he would acquire any of these things, that leads you to kind of empathize and understand where he's coming from. He's led a very strange life, and it continues to be that. The side characters such as Power, Makima, and Aki, or I forgot how it's pronounced, but they're all really good and portrayed well. They all have their own interesting stories, which obviously all intertwine in some way, and they're all really badass. Like when Aki says Khan and that fucking fox demon shows up, like I love every time he uses that, and when we see his later abilities in the manga, which I won't spoil. This is just a really weird and unique show / manga that I'm really excited to continue watching and reading. I love it a lot, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it. And do you agree with me? Is there depth behind the relatively shallow nature that Denji would seem to have? I think objectively there is depth to it, but I just like having a conversation in the comments. And yeah, again, it's just so funny me trying to say there's depth to it when he literally says his motivation is boobs, but there really is more to it, I promise. Read the story. Yeah, but that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one, and subscribe if you enjoyed.